And we are following breaking news. LAPD investigators are giving an update on the shooting of 2 security guards outside the Target store in downtown LA last night. Let's listen in.
5 to 30 years old, 170 pounds, 6 feet tall, and last seen wearing a long pink colored scarf around his neck. Last night, close to 9, the suspect entered the store carrying a briefcase. He secreted items in the briefcase and walked out past the cash registers without paying. He was confronted by the security officers outside of the Target, where a confrontation ensued. During that scuffle, the suspect produced a pistol and fired indiscriminately, shooting 2 people. Both of those 2 individuals were shot with severe wounds. They were both transported to a local hospital where one was treated and released this morning, and the other one, unfortunately, had severe injuries and is still listed in critical condition at the hospital. We're asking for the public's help in this incident. During that confrontation, we do want to mention that one of the armed security officers wearing a marked uniform also fired back, so that this was a gunfight. We don't know if the suspect was hit. We do know that over 10 rounds were fired in that confrontation. It appears that there were several of the walls at that shopping plaza were struck. Currently, we're still working the leads on this investigation. Our detectives are still at the scene, looking for witnesses, examining the evidence. We have, like I mentioned, over 10 casings at the scene. We're asking for the public's help. I'm sure somebody recognizes this individual. Please call LAPD Central Detectives. I do want to close in saying that our partnership with the community and the local shopping establishments are crucial. As we pursue justice for these victims, we're equally committed to prevention and deterring shoplifting. The LAPD will continue to work with all city entities, businesses, and non-government organizations as we strive to make downtown a safe location to visit, live, and work at. Any questions? So one was loss prevention, not armed. The other one was an armed security officer for that mall.
So they're both employees?
I'm sorry?
Both employees?
One was an employee of Target, one was an employee of that shopping center.
Where exactly it all played out?
So right outside of that 7th and Fig Plaza, second level outside of the Target. This was as the suspect exited the store with the stolen items, he was confronted, as they usually are confronted outside. And that's where the confrontation ensued.
Did you consult with, for example, Target or loss prevention, the shopping plaza staff, and discuss best practices and the way this unfolded? You know, taking a look at what seems to have happened here. You know, what are your thoughts on the way this unfolded? Did they follow the right procedures?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so as you know, before I answer that, I do want to say we have a great relationship with that particular establishment, with Target, with that whole plaza. We conduct regular briefings about security, safety. We have done plainclothes operations there in the past to catch a lot of these people shoplifting. They're following their internal protocols. I don't know what they are for that company. I do know that they have a very professional staff that I personally met. They're very dedicated. They have done this many times where this has not happened. Unfortunately, this is what we fear when we have shoplifters, is this deadly confrontations where somebody pulls a gun. And unfortunately, it happened yesterday. It happened here in downtown LA. But we'll continue to work with that establishment, not only to arrest those individuals, but to prevent that as well.
And also, what you characterize here as the gunfight, 10 bullets flying. I mean, this is a popular shopping center. It's got everything from a gym to a Target. There's people of all ages. There's babies. There's seniors. 10 bullets were flying. I mean, that's scary for people.
Absolutely. Obviously, any victim shot anywhere is a big deal for us, for the LAPD, given that this is a shopping center where it's probably one of the busiest places downtown that I know of. It's very scary. Unfortunately, the suspect got away. I'm pretty confident that we will arrest him. I'm confident that somebody will recognize it and call us. But we can't prevent this. We can only mitigate it.
Any word on what the suspect was stealing? How much worth of value?
The information I got, we're still kind of looking at the video. The information I got was that he walked in and started stuffing stuff in his bag, stationery, clothing, multiple items of merchandise.
Any idea how much it was worth?
I was told it's about $1,400, which I was told was also recovered during the confrontation. Was left behind. That was recovered by our police officers.
Did the shooting at 9:30 on Maple have anything to do with the Target shooting?
No, nothing that we know of. That seems to be a completely unrelated incident.
There was a report of a shooting at this Target a couple days prior. Do you know what occurred there?
So yes, we did have a shooting, not at the Target. It was a little south of there, I should say north of there, by the intersection. Where an individual was shot in the stomach. We are still working that case. We did recover some evidence, casings in particular. With any shooting, we'll be doing NIBIN and trying to see if these cases are linked in any way. But at this point, we have no information that they're linked.
This is the second deadly encounter at that Target in the last couple of years. In 2022, an armed guard shot someone who had stabbed a couple people at the Target. How do you convince people that this is a safe place to go shopping?
Well, I think the LAPD as a whole has done a great job. Our men and women have done a great job of addressing shoplifting. If you look at the number of arrests, if you look at our task force that was put together by the department, we have done a great job in trying to deter this stuff. I know in Central Division we've arrested, over 100 people for shoplifting. So we've also, for the holidays, have additional patrols in that area. We can't be there, every day, all the time, but we have additional patrols. So I think if you look at downtown LA, if you look at across the nation, we have not had these smash and grab type robberies that we're seeing a year or two ago. So I would say we've done a pretty decent job of trying to arrest these perpetrators and deter this. There's still a lot of work to be done, definitely. Well, this is it's been a pretty busy end of the year for the LAPD, for downtown LA. As you mentioned, we did have that double homicide a few days ago, unrelated to this incident. We have stepped up our patrols in downtown. We have a pretty robust deployment today. We're looking for troublemakers and trying to deter and interdict, particularly the party warehouses and all that stuff that we've seen in the past. But as far as the department and the bureau, our commander can talk more about what we're doing as a bureau.
What do you know about the person responsible?
I'm sorry?
What do you know about the person responsible? What can you say?
We really don't know a lot. All we have is a photo at this point, and we know he's violent and we know he's armed. He's still that weapon is still outstanding. So, we're asking people do not approach, do not talk to him. Call 911, back off, and let us know where he's at. This is really, really. We're really lucky nobody got killed in this incident. Given the number of people out there, the discriminate shooting, it goes to show that this individual is really dangerous.
Who is in critical condition? Is it the loss prevention officer or the armed security guard?
Yes, the target employee.
The loss prevention.
Correct.
Okay. And then I also heard that the suspect got away on a bicycle. Is that true?
We're still looking at leads to see how he got away. We're not sure. In the commotion, we were told he walked away. So we're chasing that video and seeing if we can pinpoint how he got away and where. So we just don't have those details at this point.
You're speaking of the violence of this individual. Can you just touch on the urgency to find him? And then
Yes.
You also mentioned shoplifting. Can you talk about Prop 36 and how it's impacting things?
Sure. First of all, I do want to mention that if you look at gun violence and victim shot, it's down in downtown LA, especially for this division. We've done a tremendous job, the men and women, of recovering guns and arresting violators. But it still happens. But this particular incident is particularly troubling because it was unprovoked. People were doing the lawful duties to detain this individual. There was a lot of people around. It appears that the shooting was very indiscriminate. The suspect fired at least 5 rounds. he could have shot multiple people in that mall. So this particular individual has demonstrated just a wanton disregard for human life, basically. So we really need to find him. We want to make sure that doesn't happen again. So we're asking for the public's help, please.
I can take 36.
Please, Commander.
Good afternoon. My name is Lillian Carranza. I'm a commander here in Operations Central Bureau. My name is spelled Lillian. Last name Carranza. First and foremost, thank you for being here today. This individual is going to be identified, located, arrested, and prosecuted because of you. You know, being here and being a force multiplier with a community member. This individual has very distinctive features, and I have no doubt that thanks to you, later this afternoon, we'll get a phone call and possible an identification on this violent criminal. I also would like to take the time to thank not only Captain Javel, but his team that stands behind me. These are the men and women that work relentlessly throughout the day to make sure that the community is kept safe. Developing those relationships not only with the victims, the community members, the business owners, and it is thanks to some of these business owners and the equipment that they have deployed that we were able to get such a clear picture of the suspect. With that being said, you asked about Proposition 36. It went into effect December the 18th. It's no secret that we have a new police chief. We also have a new deputy district attorney. And we have seen an increase on felony filings as it relates to petty theft with a prior felony petty thefts. And I am, I am very happy to see that, because I have no doubt that that will serve as a deterrent. It is also an educational piece. Individuals still do not know that it is a felony now in the city of Los Angeles to commit such a crime. And like I said, please, if you have seen this individual, call us. The number for the detective that is assigned to the case, it's been provided. If you don't remember, call 911. If you want to remain anonymous, please reach out to LA Crime Stoppers. They are a tremendous partner with us, and we have been able to solve many of our cases thanks to your partnership with the community and LA Crime Stoppers. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
This case has been out there for several hours for a while. Have you gotten any tips so far?
You want
Yes. I was literally about to reach out to my detectives a few minutes ago. We were getting calls already. So I'm hoping that we get some good leads and calls, or we're pleased. If you think you know him, if you think you've seen this individual somewhere, please call us. That's how effective you folks are. Thank you for what you folks do, once again, for putting this out there to the world. I think people are saying, hey, I want to help. So thank you.
Is he a transient or
It's hard to tell. He was pulling a briefcase around. I'm not sure if that helps at all, but I'm not sure if that signals anything. But he appeared to be a normal shopper, basically. I'm not sure. I know they're still processing a lot of evidence at scene. I'm not sure if that briefcase was part of what he took or not.
Claro que sí. Do we have any other questions for English press? Yes, sir.
How many total victims are there again?
Yes,
And you've been listening to a news conference by the LAPD discussing a shoplifting event that happened yesterday evening right around 9 o'clock when the suspect was approached by security guards who noticed that he was putting items in a briefcase. He opened fire, shooting at 2 security guards, one a Target employee, another an armed security guard for the shopping center in downtown. We are learning that one of those victims has already been released from the hospital, the other still hospitalized in serious condition. We're showing you a picture here of that suspect. They say you should consider him armed and dangerous. If you see him, you should dial 911. Do not approach him. They are hoping that someone recognizes this person right here seen on your screen and contacts police. Of course, we will continue to follow this story and bring you the very latest. At 4 o'clock, our Jeff Nguyen will be covering the story and bring you the very latest.